got some really interesting news from the NHL themselves. Remember how we said that they created four new divisions to keep up with the COVID regulations? Well, they added sponsors to each of the four divisions, and they sound pretty goofy, but check this out, right? The North Division will be sponsored by Scotia, and if you don't know what Scotia is, it's a banking in Canada. That's something Canadians know, but not Americans. So for you for you people that aren't Canadians, I'll say out there, that's what it is. Uh, and that division consists of all the Canadian teams. The Calgary Flames, the Edmonton Oilers, the Montreal Canadiens, the Ottawa Senators, Toronto Maple Leafs, Canucks, Jets, whatever. As for the West Division, I found this one to be the funniest one. It's called the Honda NHL West Division, which consists of the Ducks, Coyotes, Avalanche, Kings, Wild, Shark, Blues, and Golden Knights. As for the Central Division, that will be sponsored by Discover. Those teams consist of the Hurricanes, the Blackhawks, the Blue Jackets, the Stars, the Red Wings, the Panthers, the Predators, and the Lightning. And last but not least, the East Division will be sponsored by Mass Mutual. And of course, those teams are the Bruins, Sabres, Devils, the Islanders, and Rangers, Flyers, Penguins, and Capitals. Each team from the West, Central, and East will play each other 8 times a season, while the North Division will play each other 10 times to avoid all the traveling. This was confirmed by the NHL themselves. So it sounds really goofy. I get it. It really does. But I understand why they're doing it. I'm going to tell you why I think they're doing it. And it's actually a pretty good reason. You really think about it, right? 56-game season. Yeah. No one's going to the arenas. Most likely. That's probably what's going to happen. If you look at all of these leagues, right? Most of their money comes from the people showing up to the games. Because they sell the tickets for an amount, and they go to the front office, go to the league. That's where the league gets most of their money from the people attending the games. And obviously, of course, there's other things like buying the merch and all of that. But there's a problem. There's COVID still. Nobody can go to the arena. So a lot of that money that's coming in is going bye-bye because nobody can go to the arena. So with putting the sponsors in, you're getting more money from that. Maybe not as much as you are getting people into the arena. I can understand why they're doing that. So they can at least regain some of the revenue that from sponsoring divisions when they're losing fans because they can't go into the arena. It makes a lot of sense if you really look at it, as goofy as it sounds.
Nah, I mean, you got a great theory there, and it's 100%. That could definitely be correct, and it sounds pretty accurate. One more thing I want to add, though. Another reason why they could be doing this, though, is for branding purposes. So, like, adding, like, big companies, like, obviously in Canada, Scotiabank, Honda, Discover, and Mass Mutual.
Yeah.
I think that's a very good branding campaign right there. I think that adds a lot of great publicity and attention to the NHL when you have those types of brands. Because when you really think about it, take like the NBA for example. Mm-hmm. Now go to All-Star Weekend. When you look at All-Star Weekend, they have the Sprite like slam dunk contest, and they got like the Taco Bell skills challenge, and they got all these things. And so
T-Mobile Home Run Derby.
Right. And then you look at, and not even that, like look at college, look at all the bowls and look at how many sponsors that they got connected to that. The PlayStation Fiesta, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, so you look at all these sponsors and it brings a lot of attention, not just to the sport, but also to those brands. And I think this is a win-win for the brands and the NHL because as the brands connect themselves to the NHL, they're reaching out to a lot of sports fans, and a lot of sports fans are now looking at it, and maybe it brings more attention to those types of brands. So this is a very good branding idea by the NHL. I mean, I got to applaud them for it. It does sound goofy. I'm not going to lie. Having Honda West, I don't even know what the hell that's even connected to, but if that's the way they're going to brand it, then so be it. Then brand it that way. You do you. But I think this is a great idea for the NHL, regardless of how silly it sounds.
I think so too. This is a very great idea, and yeah, yours is pretty good. You got a really good point too with branding situation. Both could be true. Who knows? The article never really said why they're doing it. I would safely assume it's because so they can make up for the money that they're about to lose due to the like I said, the people not going to the arena. But that's a pretty good point too. But we gotta applaud the NHL for this one. This is a pretty smart idea. I don't know if they're gonna do this next year. I'm pretty sure it's gonna. I'm pretty sure they're gonna go back to normal. But who knows? Maybe they'll keep the brand. Maybe they'll keep the brands on there and the sponsors and all that. That'll be a pretty great
I'll say
idea.
this, even if well, I'll say this: if next year, if there are fans and their full participation, which I'm not sure if there will be, but there'll definitely be participation. I can see next year.
Right.
I'm still keeping these brands
Yeah, absolutely.
because like the NHL, just like everything else, is a business, and you want your business to make the most money as possible, obviously, without affecting your players, but you want them to make the most money as possible. So I don't want to see why dropping a good money idea if it works.
When
And
you can
just
add more
because
money in the future.
the original money idea came back, why not keep both of them and
Yeah,
make more money
right.
for your company? You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't work, then if it doesn't work, I can't really see them losing money off of this. If it doesn't work or if it doesn't drive enough money, then yeah, you can let it go. But if this somehow becomes a good money maker for the NHL, why not keep this? Because the NHL, I feel like, is wealthy enough and rich enough to, hold sponsorships to these brands,
Yeah,
and these
right.
brands are definitely rich enough to sponsor into them. So I wouldn't see why you would get rid of it just because the fans are coming back. I say when the fans come back and you keep this brand, I say the NHL can make a ton of money off of this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a very great marketing idea. It's a very great bolstering idea for revenue and all that. So we gotta applaud the NHL for this one. It's a really great idea.